Fnatic are on their last life right now. There we go.
There we are.
Against Team Dignitas. They have had to endure a lot in this series. The picking on Mene's hero pool potentially, the stitches that's come seemingly out of nowhere for JPL.
Can I just say how content I am by the fact that as inflexible both Dignitas and Fnatic have been in their banning patterns, finally someone is getting thoroughly punished for it. Now, I think this kind of punishment is so satisfying because all the time, Dignitas, Fnatic, they're banning Tassadar, they're banning Abathur. Gentleman's agreement. Let's play outside of those heroes with the rest of the hero pool. Dignitas is adapting. They've banned ETC, Li Ming, ETC, Tracer. Fnatic, Genji, Greymane in the first set. Okay, now Tracer, Gul'dan. They also have to adapt. Neither of them are going with that pattern anymore. We're living outside of that now. And so they are both having to adapt, but it looks like Dignitas is getting the better end of it for now.
Maybe it truly is that they feel like here at the potential end of all things, it's time to get your hands dirty. No more gentleman's agreement between Tassadar and Abathur. Gotta do whatever it takes to win this and be the only remaining European team with the 2 Korean teams that have looked darn near indomitable in this tournament.
I'll tell you what, Fnatic has to ban Tassadar now. If they don't ban Tass and Dig doesn't, they're calling their bluff. Fnatic has the first draft Tassadar, which by the way is a lot better here than on Battlefield of Eternity.
Yes.
If they don't ban or pick it, Dignitas will pick up Tass Tracer potentially. But there are other threats. Both teams are very good at Tyrael Genji plays. I call them disengage comps. You can engage hard, of course, find your mark. Breeze showed it with Judgment, JPL favors Sanctification, but Tyrael Genji is so flexible later on into the draft. And in the end, that is what Fnatic will be banning out.
Yeah, Team Dignitas does like Genji on this map. Both of them love an early Greymane, but that's more just the map themselves. And otherwise from that, looking at potential Leoric or Sonya later on for Team Dignitas and Wubby. Fnatic get their Greymane. No ETC allowed for them again. That has been a consistent ban for Team Dignitas versus Breeze.
Question now is Tass Tracer, yes or no?
They have yet to do it on Shrines.
Yeah.
They've done it on Sky, Battlefield of Eternity, and the other one is...
Tomb of the Spider Queen, they do it sometimes.
Yes. Dragon is the one they've been playing it a whole bunch on. They don't do it. Arthas and Lucio.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Tracer gets good wave clear at 13, but before that, she's not really a body that can absorb and dish out at the Shrines. So she gives up a lot in the wave clear. Fnatic go with a very solid composition. I would say the best draft opening for them yet. Greymane, Anub'arak, and Uther. And we're going fast. Abathur would be too powerful for Fnatic. I agree with that. So Dignitas bans that out.
Ban for Fnatic with a warrior and a support. Likely idea would be some sort of shrine clearing type damage hero for Team Dignitas. Dig have run a fair amount of mages on here, Gul'dan, but they also were playing more of the double reset style composition, and with an Arthas and Lucio, it's kind of hard to tell where Dignitas wants to go with this draft.
Many possibilities. Tyrael lacks a bit of synergy now that Greymane has been removed, as well as Genji. Still an option for Dignitas. But big threats are also, like you said, Gul'dan for Dignitas, as well as Sonya and Wubby's Leoric. And there's always the Dahaka as well. Now, Dahaka is not 100% equally good as other heroes at the team fight. And when you look at the team fight composition for Fnatic, as well as the wave clear that Greymane has, I'm not sure Dahaka is a safe pick for Dignitas right now. Also lack a little bit of initiation with those two as your warriors. Love that ban. I think it's 100% on the mark. And already Fnatic is miles better with the draft than both previous games. I do really believe they got outdrafted on both.
I do as well. But here they're holding their own. They know Dignitas, they have done their homework, they know that this is a common Leoric battleground for Team Dignitas, and this may push Dig into the Sonya pick, which then Fnatic would have known for too and can prepare for.
Sonya doesn't have a fantastic matchup into Anub'arak and Greymane, so in this sense Fnatic is also safeguarded against some of Wubby's picks. Banning Wubby, being more okay against Sonya. Dignitas can still go with Stitches, even here.
I almost wondered if that was going to be the second ban for Fnatic. Like, we've had enough.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that they're they haven't been that affected by it that they feel like they can't deal with it at all.
Right. It would be a great initiation though, and hiding the second, well, that's the second warrior, right? So it is the Haka. In this case, Fnatic has done a good job of limiting Wooby's best picks. Wow, Zeratul Jaina comes out. So that should be Zeratul, Bad Benny, Jaina, Mene. We have this big lockdown composition, burst, single support, triple assassin by Fnatic, going against the grain and bringing out a secret weapon here on Infernal Shrines.
A wombo combo that I honestly didn't know if Fnatic would be able to play. Bad Benny has just switched over to this role from a main tank role for Team Expert. To play Zeratul in that role it's pretty scary. It's a harder one to execute there, and the execution has to be on point for Fnatic with this. You have to have the Void Prison with the Ring of Frost, but it's an old favorite of Team Dignitas's too. They have to make sure that they can try to zone Jaina away from following up with that, but the Anubarak's going to make that difficult as he can also join in on the fun. Even Uther can.
And Dignitas has a choice here. Medivh, yes or no? It's going to be no. They're going to use Falstad to Mighty Gust engage. Mighty Gust disengage. So when Zeratul drops the VP, if it's not on Falstad, Falstad will gust Jaina away, preventing her from doing Ring of Frost. But the cool thing is, you could Hand of Protection Uther Cleanse on Jaina to stop that, to still have the follow-up. There's a lot at play here, a lot of play and counterplay. Makes for a fantastic draft from both sides. Falstad is rather a daring gambit here by Dignitas.
Yeah, it shows that the fear is less about the Falstad Zeratul 1v1. Obviously, that has to be on the mind constantly for Snitch, who's probably going to play that Falstad. But it's more so making sure that the Wombo isn't executed. This is what Fnatic have put all of their final hopes on this guy here, Bad Benny, who will likely be playing that Zeratul unless we see some sort of change-up, some adjustment from Fnatic for someone who would be more comfortable on that Zeratul. We have to see, but it's not just the Gust. You know, if Gul'dan, if he is also outside of the Void Prison, he can horrify Jaina away.
Right.
You could have an isolation from Dehaka to try to silence her for a few seconds. Lucio can try to sound barrier outside of that, and Arthas can just try to zone her away on his own. Dignitas has the tools. Let's see if Fnatic has the synergy in the execution.
We saw Jaina before on Shrines. SPT beat Fnatic on Shrines and Roll20 with Jaina, and one time Arthas was used to zone Jaina away from a fight, and then she single Arthas Ring of Frosted Arthas to death. Still better than a Wombo on the rest of the team. But let's talk about how risky it is for Dignitas to run double Assassin, double Warrior, single support, no cleanse, no burst protect outside of Sound Barrier against Zeratul. If Fnatic was Ballistics and Bad Benny was SCSC, I think Dig would get destroyed by Zeratul here. But I don't believe that Bad Benny's individual mechanical skill with Zeratul can be nearly as good as SCSC. And so I feel like you said, the Wombo combo is going to be a much larger part of his Zeratul play than individually outplaying and killing assassins here. Because normally taking Falstad against Zeratul and trying to offlane with Falstad is suicide. Yeah. Zeratul will come there, even if you fly away, he can Vorpal Blade across the map to kill you off.
So then from that too, since you're waiting until Heroic Abilities for the Wombo combo to come online for Fnatic, there is a possibility that Dignitas can try to get an early lead ahead with the double globals that they have set up. It does take a while for Gul'dan to ramp up. He has to build up his level 1 quest. And with the double globals though, maybe if the team fight is far too scary, if Fnatic shows that they have the execution necessary to be able to make this Wombo work, they still have the backups of just trying to counter push with those globals on this game. But man, it is an amazing draft for the potential final game of this series. I cannot wait to get into this game.
Yeah, and you know, Gilly, now that I've seen it, I don't think it will be the last game of the series. I think I think Fnatic has a comfortable draft that also happens to be very good against what Dignitas has here. I think Falstad was a big mistake that, I mean, I think, right? The team, of course, probably knows better, maybe, who knows? But maybe they didn't know, they didn't want to play Medivh to try and protect, or maybe they thought it's too risky, or they're not comfortable enough with him. But I think Fnatic has a great one here. So let's see, let's hope for more games.
I will always hope for more games with you. It is Bad Benny playing Zeratul, and Mene gets to play a mage in this setup.
Yeah, and he's really good on Jaina. And so he will be aiming that Ring of Frost to time either when Void Prison finishes, or Zeratul has to prematurely cancel the VP to line up with the Ring of Frost timing. Both is possible. The cool thing is, if you go for that mid-VP interrupt, Dignitas can disrupt Zeratul, and then he cannot cancel it. So if you either stun Zeratul or you silence him, he cannot interrupt on time, and then the Ring of Frost misses. So that's also a little bit of cool play versus counterplay.
You know what's really cool, and I didn't think about this until now, but when this was run all the time by Team Dignitas, it also was in a time when Jaina didn't have the upgrade on her trait, where once she does enough ability damage to chilled targets, she gets the improved ice block set up too. So she, as long as she can get some damage done in this 1-4, try to stack that up as fast as possible, maybe with a lot of poke and focus on heroes during the shrine phases, will also be able to gain some survivability after that wombo goes down.
Yeah, exactly. Jaina, it's so good to have her back with ice block and with blink at level 20. We can also see that Mene has gone for the mana talent that gives bonus chill damage upon completing 15 globes, I believe, rather than the Frostbolt range, which most people take. So Mene will have considerably lower hero damage, but will be more powerful in the wombo combo, which is in the end what it's all about. Let's make no mistake.
That is what it's all about. Team Dignitas have Poix chosen Echoed Corruption, trying to see if he can get those good corruption stacks later on with Ruinous Affliction to really chunk the members of Fnatic out. Make sure he can hit the backline too with that Jaina and Greymane, because it is just a solo Uther for Fnatic. If he can do that consistent poison damage and they live through the wombo, that's when they can start trying to get the kills off of that.
First Punisher is coming in. Burrow charge just to get nearer. With the Impale, JPL goes down on Arthas. Great job, Fnatic. First blood. This is the exact amount of takedowns they got in both Battleground 1 and 2.
And far
One
earlier.
takedown each, yeah, far earlier. And uncontested from the other side. So Fnatic with a small lead, and they need it.
They'll start off with the Shrine, Team Dignitas, and losing JPL, or maybe just having the globals anyway. Not choosing to contest that, really just making sure that they're soaking all of the lanes up, trying to catch up with the small experience advantage that Fnatic got off of that kill, and make sure that they're setting up well for the later of the phases. But Fnatic don't have the 40 necessary yet. With JPL back, they're starting to come into the Shrine.
Here, Dignitas had this semicircle set up, a kind of semicircle flank surround. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. They kind of move in. Just a token resistance, forcing Fnatic to take this seriously while fanning out with their globals.
Yeah, it also helps to make sure that enough people are still there, that Team Dignitas can build off more Echoed Corruption stacks. So Poik gets some more of those and is ready to help defend versus the first Punisher of the game. Baited over the wall, Fnatic are just going to work on bringing down the towers, start to open up the map, and importantly, get an experience advantage.
Dignitas is trying to catch up with their globals. Bad Benny will go to the top with Zeratul and clean up about half of the XP of that minion wave. Little things you may think, but these ultimately give small windows of opportunity of talent leads. So as much as we talk about minions, it matters a lot. Bad Benny now coming to the middle again. Fnatic tries to create an opportunity where they can get a kill.
Yeah, Dig, instead of going straight to their own Khazra, we're starting to move into position to check on Fnatic's Khazra, but Fnatic went there straight away after the Punisher, so they were able to get that without any sort of contest. Not really looking to contest Dignitas, even though they do have that talent tier advantage momentarily. Instead, just getting ahead in the camps by also getting the bottom push. They have a double push going on at the same time. Oh, they're all about the fight, though. As JPL shows up, Blizzard goes down. Takes a bunch of damage that right away, but Wubby's going to stalk in, and Dignitas are committed to this, and they're rewarded with their first kill.
Yeah, fantastic turn here by Dignitas. Everybody flying in. Keep in mind that these things are never without a price. Quacknix here is showing just what kind of price you pay. You rotate in with your globals, you save one, you kill one. So effectively, that's 2 lives worth of change. So it's definitely worth it. But you lose 2 towers on top as well, and that's worth a life as well. So good for Dignitas, maybe? In the end, the game is about killing structures and your current experience count, not about how many kills you can get.
Yeah, and there's a possibility that that next shrine ends up being in the top lane. And having the towers down, the gate being low too, would set up fantastically for Fnatic, especially since they've maintained a slight experience advantage and could be looking at rounding out 10 along with that.
And speak of the devil, or the Punisher in this case. Top Shrine is activating. It was a 50-50, and it will fall in Fnatic's favor, if they should be able to win it, that is.
Both teams getting their Shaman. Dig with the faster pickup gets the push and the vision that accompanies that.
Fnatic playing around with vision. Will Snitch overstep? Will he get greedy? Only a Nubarak showing. Rest hasn't shown yet. And there is Mene. Okay, so Snitch knows that his caution has been rewarded.
Yeah, and Dignitas even rotates Arthas down. JPL just wanting to help keep an eye on Snitch. He is the weaker of the two solo laners, but with so much burst from Fnatic possible and the lockdown, it's likely they could even get a kill on Wubby here too. As they come in, they are going to push down the fort. Wubby moves back. JPL will rotate here to help, but that is just a really fast rotation from Fnatic that takes out the fort from the damage they did earlier, and Dignitas are not far enough quite yet along on this shrine for them to be comfortable to stay there without heroics.
Yeah, it was a great play by Fnatic. Anub'arak is one of the best divers of enemy forts, and that's not even talking about the minion wave. Fnatic uses these resources, the 9 minions or so that they had, to kill a fort from 100 to 0%. Fantastic move. They had a backdoor chance on killing Wubby as well, but he was too safe on the Haka. And now Fnatic is starting to muscle their way into the Punisher. A little bit of a low health and mana pool on Bad Bunny. He will need to be careful. Looks like he's going for a tap.
With the stock in, and soon likely to see the fly. Actually, no, Fnatic's just going to bring Snitch up the old-fashioned way. We can save it if he needs to use that after the fight. But
Fnatic needs to go now or never.
It's all going. They go in. Cursed Bullet does half the health of Wubby, forcing him to pop his essence.
So this is not a great position for Fnatic to move in, because they have so many fragile pieces to their composition. Triple Assassin with Uther going past the Haka in a brush, and Arthas for that matter. Funneling in like that is not advantageous. It's generally the very bruisery compositions that favor top shrine positions. So Fnatic had this small window on Wubby, but the Haka did not fall, and Fnatic will lose this Punisher.
But Benny is setting up for the flank after the fact here. If Dignitas don't take out any of Team Fnatic before they evacuate this top 4 area, this could be a potential place that we see the first instance of that Wombo combo.
He's getting
ready.
Sharking
around. Snitch trying to stay way far in the back line so that he can gust away if necessary. Team Dignitas in their spread gives no opportunity for Fnatic to drop the Wombo yet.
Yeah, you know, even 1 or 2 targets can be enough to get a successful Void Prison Ring of Frost combo, but as good of a position that Bad Bunny had, the warrior movement prevented Mene from taking a safe position to follow up. And of course, keep in mind, Isolation, Mighty Gust and Horrify can all interrupt that beautiful combo, and you don't get many chances. We're looking at a heroic combination here from Fnatic that is in the 90 to 100 second cooldown ratio, so you can try once every roughly 1.5 to 2 minutes. Whereas Dignitas with Gust has a bit of a shorter cooldown to stop it, so you need to be very calculated when you go for it. And
very patient, which is hard for a team when you are down 2 games in a best of 5 to put all of your hopes into this combo, which if executed, and it looks like they might try here with the Cocoon, find Poik, but he dodges the Impale. Now the turnaround, JPL and Xayah here, but Wubby also trying to catch that Anub'arak. The Divine Shield is forced. Bad
Bunny puts the Fear of God into Snitch. He had a combo, a duel there during that fight, nearly killing him, but Snitch got away. Had to use Mighty Gust, yes. And in the meantime, Breeze continue. Oh, wow! Single man Void Prison. Let's go.
There's no Gust, so this will drop down behind this. There was the Horrify, but it was Poik who was stuck inside here. Horrify now comes down. Team Dignitas just sticking together, are not allowing anyone to execute Poik. Finally, Benny goes in one last time with his mobility and takes out, but Jaina and Zeratul die for the 1 kill of Gul'dan.
Really cool fight here. We see Fnatic going with the Wombo combo, only getting Gul'dan. Xelia's Sound Barrier was perfect, blocking all of the Ring of Frost damage. Then we see the Vorpal Blade, Zeratul finishing off Gul'dan, but it came at a price, 2 deaths. And of course, this is all because Divine Shield wasn't available, Cocoon wasn't available, and Breeze, with the Cocoon setup, uncharacteristically missed his impale on Gul'dan just moments before, about 20 seconds before that fight, maybe 10. And that was on a static target. Breeze, again, a bit uncharacteristic mistakes here on a hero that's supposed to be his top 3 of the entire event, of his entire pool. Just like on Tomb with the Cocoon and now the Impale. Something mentally here is going on. And how could it not? It always is in Fnatic versus Dignitas.
Yeah, there is always so much pressure, and Fnatic has always felt like Dig are their Achilles heel. They'll get another chance. 23 seconds until the full combo is available, but they do have Cocoon and Cursed Bullet as a backup combo to make something happen. Team Dignitas, with all of their great Shrine clear, pulls ahead in the Skeletal Defenders. They pick up the Arcane Punisher, and Fnatic moves back to defend it.
Massive minion wave at the top as well. Quacknick's forced to deal with it. That means no Gilneo and Cocktails to defend this Punisher here in the middle. Not arguably, the best damage dealer to kill this Punisher in the mid, and he is sent to wave clear, making this Punisher all the more effective. Dignitas is now battling in there, and they tried to get a kill on Wooby. He probably already used Burrow. Nope, he didn't.
Oh, he was burrowed as the sound barrier went down. Now the Void Prison will follow up, and again, it's Poik. No, it's Falstad who's stuck inside here. He gusts away Mene and Smexy as he comes out of the Void Prison. Snitch will survive, only losing Wubby there. Fnatic use a lot trying to get more, but at least they got the one.
Really cool kill there by Mene, sending one more Frostbolt to finish off the Haka, who was still chilled, by the way, taking that burst critical damage from the Frostbolt, and he died in a perfect anti-synchrony of abilities there. Like you said, that burrow during sound barrier, and Fnatic get a kill there. They spent Void Prison for it and Cocoon, but still, that's a kill. They got to defend the Punisher without additional pressure in the mid-keep. Curious how many structures it took out there, and Quacknix continues to clear. And a small experience lead here for Fnatic, very crucial for them.
Yeah, they have to keep up with the experience so they get more opportunities. Their whole composition is built around executing Team Dignitas, and they have to continue to get those opportunities. So their macro has been on point, making sure they're keeping up with the soak in the lanes. They've gotten just enough kills to maintain that advantage, although with an isolation and drag like that, they're going to lose Bad Bunny. And 38 seconds until Zeratul is back. He will come back with Void Prison, though.
But something felt wrong already about that. I see Bad Bunny clearing there, and he's kind of like not kiting and moving too much, clearing away from the enemy side of the map against all 5 being up without seeing the portraits on the map. It's a mistake, and you know, sometimes great Heroes of the Storm matches get formed by proactive plays and sometimes by mistakes. It feels bad calling it out, but that definitely was a bit of a mistake.
So in the last Wombo, Falstad was inside but still able to use Gust out of the Void Prison too.
Yeah.
Ring of Frost wasn't used in that. Did you see why it was that he was able to get that off before the Ring of Frost was placed down to at least root him in place and burst him?
I think they just tried to kill him without it. It's,
okay.
It's a really good question, because you absolutely can and could have linked it. They decided not to use it. I think they just thought maybe we'll kill him without. I was surprised by that as well, Gilly. And the reason we talk about a moment like that, that's a while back, is this is the linchpin of Fnatic's strategy, making VP Roth work together.
Benny sharking around.
But they've seen him. There's no point to staying around here. There's no way they're going to give you that chance after they've already spotted you. Or maybe the advanced psychology is to remain where it's unlikely.
Plus, it's nobody's going to move down. There's no fort down there to protect Team Dignitas. Dig's just sitting underneath their fort while they get Dehaka onto the shrine.
Yeah, it's like, if Fnatic is doing this, pretending that they're all down there using Zeratul as an initiation, great. But Dignitas was getting ahead in the Shrine clear. So then they don't mind continuing to hunt for Zeratul. They see no one is showing up north yet. Now it starts to get a vision play, as it so often does in high-level Heroes of the Storm games. 7 takedowns only, and everyone is playing with vision. The only thing that Dignitas can intuit is that there's one person on the Shrine. They see some skeletons being taken, but they don't know where the rest is. Wooby. Breeze. Hello.
Caught. Blizzard. Tunneling Claws and the Gust. The Horrify was used too, though. That is pretty much everything except the sound barrier. And the damage on everyone else, from everyone else on Bad Bunny, is enough to force him back. Ring of Frost comes out. But from that, Team Dignitas survive even with having to use so much early on, and they'll take out Smexy.
So 2 warriors meet in the brush. Dehaka gets 5%. Burrows away, using that level 16 Tunneling Claws, very cool talent there, ultimately saved him. Mighty Gust and Horrify get overlapped, mistake by Dignitas. And very daringly, Bad Benny jumps back in with the Vorpal, drops the Void Prison, and Mene gets in position, dutifully dropping his Ring of Frost. Cannot time it too carefully though, there's too much pressure on him. So the Ring of Frost comes out, Bad Benny nearly dies, Smexy saves him with the Divine Shield, Bad Benny runs, and in his panic, he forgets to cancel. On time. Ring of Frost comes out, get about half a second or so to cancel, and he doesn't do it. So Ring of Frost misses. Combo fail once again.
And that is showing you this is a Team Dignitas, who has run this combo time and time again. It's been a while, but they know this combo, so they know what to do to stop it. Really,
pressure the Zeratul.
Yeah, pressure the Zeratul, pressure the Jaina. Just don't let it work. Don't let it combo. Now they're getting a combo of their own. They've taken out Greymane with the Gust to isolate him from the rest of the team. They also take down the Keep, and they're still going. They want more. They want to take out the core. They want to take out Fnatic, and they want to go on to the top 3 of the Gold Club World Championship. Can they do it? They get to the core as the shielding is starting to fall. It's falling even more and more. Nobody's died. Snitch still here on the core trying to bring it down with those auto attacks. Sound barrier still exists even though the Cocoon
Void
went
Prison.
out.
Void Prison is back. It's available. Void Prison.
Snitch dies. They void the core.
Not ideal actually.
Horrify used Ring of Frost allows them to take out Arthas. But this still should be enough, right? 9%, 2 people left. Team Dignitas, 3% too. And 0 Team Dignitas have done it. They take out Fnatic 3-0. It was a close one, but it still worked. They're going to go on and face the loser of Ballistix and KSV Black.
Yeah, great play there by Dignitas, securing the 3-0 victory. The best game by Fnatic so far in this series. And that crucial core defense, the attempt of at least, Bad Benny with the Void Prison had the choice to either Void Prison the core and kill the 3 Dignitas members, Void Prison the heroes or 1 hero and the core and then try to kill 2 Dignitas members. There was a number of options there anyway. And he decided to Void Prison the core, which is good, it doesn't take any damage, but not enough targets to be attacked outside of that. Either way, it was a very close core call, but there was some room to spare there for Dignitas. Even if they had lost that core all in, they still wouldn't have lost the game per se. Fantastic game by Dignitas, not using something with hard protection like Uther, Divine Shield, Cleanse, or Medivh's Force of Will to stop the VP Ring of Frost combo. And ultimately, partially due to just the lack of execution here, really, for the combination of Fnatic.
Yeah, part of it being that lack of execution for sure. We didn't know how well Benny would be able to play that Zeratul, and that is the linchpin, the setup for that. Although Fnatic drafted a composition that still could get kills even despite the Void Prison Ring of Frost, with just the Anu Barak follow-up CC and then the Cursed Bullet 2. That almost took out Wubby. Yeah. But at Tunneling Claws at 16, willing to use the Gust, there was the overlap with Horrify, but that kept Team Dignitas safe. And then because Fnatic were scrambling from that, they still weren't able to execute, even though they had been able to force so many of those defensive abilities to be used. And quite frankly, to be willing to draft a Falstad into that Zeratul, to rely on Falstad to be safe in laning, to make sure that he could Gust, I think this is 100% absolutely deserved that Snitch gets MVP here for this game.
Yeah, it's bending the rules, being able to pick Falstad into Zeratul with confidence, like you said, both in laning and in terms of the team fight. Totally deserved MVP.
It felt like an MVP for such an improved player to look at Falstad and his Falstad plays from long ago to this game. Team Dignitas just feels on a rampage, Grubby. I feel like they really will be able to challenge whatever team ends up losing in the next match.
I have to agree with you here. They look better and better, and they looked good to begin with, despite the roster changes. Very cool to see the type of team that Dignitas has evolved themselves into, still relying on old strengths, like Snitch's Genji and JPL Stitches, but also with new strengths like Poix Tracer and Chromie. Yeah. And of course, having Wubby once again back from, well, reunited again.
Yes, letting Webby shine in his way, Poik shine in his way, even Xaylia to be able to shine with his heroes, the Kharazim plays that we've seen, some Stukov, now is Lucio too, giving kills to the team.
Yeah, Xaylia on support. They brought him in as a ranged, who then had to learn flex and now support. Kid's talented, and I hope for him he gets some MVP awards too, because that sound barrier against the first VP, pitch perfect as well.
Now, as I hear, there will be a break for a little while before we get into the next series, but the next series is one you do not want to miss. It'll be KSV versus Ballistics. The winner of that is guaranteed grand finals, and the loser, they have to play Dignitas, and I wouldn't want to do that. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with more Heroes of the Storm, the Gold Club World Championship.